All right, welcome back to Buffalo Plus, a little draft night coverage. Dan Fates.
Up late.
I'm Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy our stuff. All right.
Look how beautiful the stadium is lit up.
I know. Beautiful sunset here tonight. That's what we're here to talk about,
Totally.
right? All right. Dalton Kincaid, the tight end out of Utah. The Bills trading up, giving away a 4th-round pick to get it done. Dan, your initial thoughts.
Don't like it.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, we went into this draft. I joke around that saying like, oh, I really wanted a wide receiver. Then it was,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a running back. I know, as crazy as that sounds. Then it was also, I want an offensive lineman. And then it came down to somebody that could help Josh Allen. And as the draft fell, Jenna, I thought the draft fell perfectly for the Bills to get one of the 4 wide receivers that we all thought were first rounders.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thought the draft fell perfectly to them, and somehow they still didn't get the guy.
Here's my thing. I made a short on the Buffalo Plus channel talking about I want a wide receiver. And then I said, you know what? Offensive line. I don't care. Something on offense. And the Bills get Dalton Kincaid. And initially I was just like, oh, wow. I just didn't think that was anything kind of in the realm of what we were expecting. Now, Brandon Beane came out afterwards and he spoke about how, Kincaid has elite hands. Great route runner, athletic guy. Think of the Bills playing more 11.5 personnel.
Yeah, so real quick, 12 personnel is what, they talk about running, which is 1 running back, 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
I hate that. and I hate that in the sense of this isn't 2009. The NFL has changed to a game where you spread out the defense.
Yeah.
It has turned into a spread out, like it's much like the college game. So to sit there and for me to compact the offensive line and to, in theory, have Dalton Kincaid lining up at the end, I don't really see it. And this is a tight end that is not good at blocking. He is not seen as a blocker.
His draft report says liability.
Yeah. And I hate to break it to you, Dawson Knox isn't a great blocker either. Now Dawson Knox has gotten better at blocking, but if you're gonna line up in 12 personnel, it's that thought of I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. We're gonna put a hat on a hat and we're gonna be more physical than you. It is way too difficult to run 12 personnel when you can't block the guy.
Yeah.
And these hybrid guys. Look, I saw somebody comparing him to Mike Gesicki. I don't think that's a compliment. It's also a Zach Ertz. I saw as a comparison.
Zach Ertz was the NFL comp, Lance Zierlein. Here's my thing. Brandon Beane talking afterwards talked about the fact that they kind of see Dalton Kincaid as more like a Cole Beasley type target in the middle of the field, but a bigger bodied guy.
Yep.
When the connection was going between Josh Allen and Cole Beasley, I mean, that was a safety blanket for Allen. That was a dependable kind of spot for him to throw the ball, got the offense moving, the chains moving, all those things. Can Dalton Kincaid be that? That's what the Bills hope. They're hoping to have that reliability. Again, Beane saying elite hands.
Over and over.
Yeah.
He said it the most. And the fact of he also... I loved Beane for coming out to the press conference before he sits down and says, I lied. I'm sorry, I traded up. And he said,
he joked.
He joked. And I thought it was a really good joke. It was a very well played by Brandon Beane, the sense of humor, and also him saying, I didn't think he would be there. We do have to, like I said, while I don't like the pick, I think the prospect and the player and the potential is very high.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a guy that a lot of people, Daniel Jeremiah of NFL Network, had him as the 8th rated prospect talent-wise. This guy can, he was seen as a really good tight end out of Utah. Injuries kind of hurt him at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Didn't perform in the combine, all of those things, but he was kind of seen as the best tight end. It just doesn't seem, to me, he seems like a lot similar to Dawson Knox, of better hands, but another guy that does the same kind of thing. And while it is a weapon for Josh Allen, I think that's what they wanted. Brandon Beane talking about how they wanted to get another tight end. They've been searching for this.
Which that is true.
For quite some time.
I didn't think they would invest in terms of moving up and getting a first-round pick.
Yep. Jacob Hollister, Tommy Sweeney.
O.J. Howard they brought in. Yep. They have tried. They've swung and missed on other guys. I didn't think that they would invest so heavily.
Correct.
But the Bills have been looking after that.
Beane also defended his decision by saying, defended the pick, and he said he would have traded back if Dalton wasn't there. That's why they moved up 2 picks, because they knew that Dallas wanted a tight end. They ended up taking Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame, who I thought we had talked about on one of the pods, that he was the more complete tight end, more of a physical style, could also be a blocker. He said that it was like the Carolina pick.
Yeah.
When he was in Carolina.
Yeah.
The fact that when they drafted Cam Newton, they had Jeremy Shockey. They went out and also got Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
They also didn't have a wide receiver on that Carolina team for the longest time. Cam Newton carried that team on his back. So, I'm skeptical about this pick.
I hear you. I think the Bills also have the belief, though, in terms of the run blocking stuff, that they have the strength and conditioning program, the development from coaches to help him evolve into more of that role. I mean, here's the thing. Beane sees it. The Bills obviously see it and believe in it. But I understand why there is skepticism at this moment. That being said, it's so funny. I said, we want offense.
Yes.
And we got offense. But I don't know. I honestly was like, maybe they should go D-lineman.
I know. I thought
it's
by the way,
sick to my stomach.
I tweeted, I go, it feels like they're going to go pass rusher again. In my mentions were something special.
That's
so
a scary place.
I think there are
scary place.
Yeah, so they didn't go pass rusher. They took their first offensive player in the first round since Josh Allen in 2018.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any rift between Knox and Kincaid. They were already talking about how they've already he texted him during the Zoom call that he was on with the media. Obviously, Dalton just saying that he never actually took an official visit here. It was over Zoom calls. So, again, I don't think the Bills thought he would be here. I really don't. So,
I don't think so either.
So I think that's the positive there. It's just a matter of what is the fit. And we seem to always be circling back to this. This falls on Ken Dorsey.
I was about to say, I was like, where are we in the graph of getting back to? Is this also a reflection of maybe you're not believing in Ken Dorsey and what he can have Dalton Kincaid do in this offense?
Yeah. I think, if I'm being honest, like it's a little bit concerning that, he kind of took over an offense that they had the keys to success and Brian Daboll left, and now they're changing it. It wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, you have reservations. I think that's very fair.
Yeah, I just didn't want this tight end.
All right.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not a fan of 12.
You know what you're wrong about? Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, well, thank God the Bills didn't pick him. Again, I'm just not a fan of 12 personnel. If you're somebody that likes the 12 personnel, that's great. I'm worrisome with these hybrid guys. Sometimes they're not, they're too tall for the short guys, but they're not fast enough for the fast guys, and they kind of fall. They become these in-between guys that just don't pan out. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is another weapon to add to Josh Allen and to Ken Dorsey. We'll have to wait and see.
We have to wait and see.
Jack Campbell going very early was a stunner.
Draft, again, proves, A, why I hate the draft, and
we know nothing.
B, we know nothing. We know nothing.
It reminds me of
Beane, the other running back going.
This whole draft, I felt like Michael Scott when he's outside and he's doing the Michael Scott paper company. He goes, I understand nothing. Pretty much.
I understand nothing.
Nothing. Pretty much. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We've had a long day here, and there's going to be another long day tomorrow. So the Bills traded away that fourth round pick, but they have 2 picks tomorrow in the second and third round. They have 1 in the second, another 1 in the third. I think Beane, I could see him moving back at some point to kind of get back the draft capital that he lost moving up.
I think there are still some tight ends. I think there are still some wide receivers. Beane said he did not have a first-round grade on all 4 of the wide receivers that were taken. He wouldn't say exactly who, but he said he didn't have them for all of them. He did have a lot more guys with second-round grades.
Yeah.
So for everybody out there that is team wide receiver, myself included, there is more of a possibility, I think, in day 2 heading into the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the moves, I don't think drafting a wide receiver in the first round means that not drafting wide receiver in the first round means that they're going to get DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think that means anything in the grand scheme of things.
I agree.
So if it happens, it happens, but they could have still drafted a wide receiver and then traded for Hopkins, but we will have to wait and see.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we'll have plenty more coverage on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Take a breath.
Yeah, just a little disappointed.
Take a beat.
Comment in, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think of the Dalton Kincaid draft.
Here's my thing. Initially, it was like, don't get it, gross, hate it, how will he be used? And then upon settling in, I think there is a lot of potential there. The athlete, the hands portion, the route runner, the pass catcher ability that is there. I want to look at the upside.
Yep.
But that being said, there are still questions about how things will get done in terms of how he will be implemented into this offense. What will that look like with two tight ends?
Yeah.
And how will he kind of evolve with the Bills?
It's funny, when we talked about Bijan, we were like, how is he going to fit? But he's a top 3 talent in this draft. let's look at this glass half full. Dalton Kincaid is a top 10 talent, viewed
Yeah.
as a top 10 talent in
Yeah.
this draft class. How he will be used is let to be determined. And again, he can still be used fine. Personally, I'm just not a fan of 12 personnel. I'm just not a fan of that.
But even being said, though, it's like 11 and a half.
11 and a half. Yep.
So we'll see.
So he's half a tight end, half a wide receiver. Yeah, we'll see.
I hate, you know me, hate hot takes. It's too early to have an opinion. It's too.
It's never too early.
It's too early.
Never too
Let's
early.
wait and see.
Yep.
That's fundamentally the differences between
Fact.
you and me.
Fact. That's why we're
Also,
a great duo.
I was gonna say, Dan would go if Dan were to be drafted, he would want to be at the draft. And if I were to be drafted,
Yes.
I would want to be at home. And I feel like that says everything about who we are.
Perfect. Here are the 2 comments in. Thank you for sticking to the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Comment in with your thoughts on the Kincaid pick.
That's one.
And would you attend the draft or be at home with family and friends?
Family
think
and
that's
friends all day.
I feel like that's a great question.
Home on your couch, great snacks.
You're all about the snacks and couch.
Yeah. You
Bright
have
lights.
everyone you love right around you.
Yeah.
You don't need the bright lights. This is going into why
Yep.
I am flawed as a person. All right.
Tons more
like-
content. Yeah, no, tons more content. Again, we will wait and see how this pans out.
Yes.
Plenty more work to be done. I still think there are moves to be made. If
Yeah,
they do want to
definitely.
get DeAndre Hopkins, I don't think it's still out of the question.
No.
As we said, I think the Bills want to give up next year's 3rd-round pick and possibly get him.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see.
Agreed. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time here on Buffalo Plus. Like, comment, subscribe.